Chosen one, there comes a moment in every chosen one's life when the tides turn, when the silence breaks, when the mocking voices, the schemes, the betrayals, and the unseen knives thrown in the dark are all brought into the light. You who have been walking quietly, carrying the weight of wounds only you and heaven know, your season of quiet endurance is coming to an end. Because what's about to unfold is not just a shift. It's divine retaliation, a holy reversal. God is about to publicly humiliate your enemies, and not in private whispers or silent corrections, but in front of the very crowd that once doubted you, laughed at you, dismissed you. Your tears were not for nothing. Your long nights of wondering when justice would come were not in vain. The table is being prepared, not in a hidden place, but in the presence of those who counted you out. This is not just about revenge. This is about restoration. It's about vindication without bitterness. God is not just exposing your enemies. God is showcasing you. The very ones who tried to bury you will now watch you bloom in a garden they swore would never exist. They threw dirt on your name, but forgot that dirt is where seeds grow. And now that seed, that divine spark in you, is rising through the soil. What they thought would destroy you only planted you deeper into purpose. The ground is shaking beneath the feet of your enemies, not because you fought them, but because heaven has chosen to respond. You stayed silent. You stayed faithful. You didn't fight back the way they expected. You didn't stoop to their level, and that restraint, that trust, it positioned you for a glory so loud no one will be able to deny it. Let this be the moment you pause and open your heart to the promise before you. This is the chapter where wishes come true, where silent prayers are answered in the form of celebration. Right now, I ask you, if this resonates in your spirit, to write your warmest wish in the comments below. Comment 99, comment 777 if you believe your celebration is close. And make sure you subscribe and stay on this journey, because the divine is not done. This is just the beginning. Speak your wish out loud, type it out with faith, and know the energy you release into this moment is returning multiplied. Watch this video until the end, because something in it has the power to stir your reality into motion. This is not just a video, this is a divine appointment. You must understand, humiliation is a language the proud never imagine will be spoken to them. They operate as if there are no consequences for their deception, their cruelty, their manipulations. But heaven watches, and when divine timing collides with earthly pride, a moment of reckoning is birthed. That moment is now. Your enemies thought they could hide behind masks, but those masks are crumbling. They thought no one would see their true intentions. But the spiritual realm has been recording every act. Every attempt to break you has now become evidence, and that evidence is being brought forward. You're not imagining it. People are losing their grip, trying to cover their tracks, rewriting history. But it's too late. The truth is echoing now. The energy is shifting, and those who danced at your downfall are now slipping on the very stage they built to embarrass you. Public humiliation is not about vengeance, it's about correction, it's about balance. What was done in secret is being reversed in public. Those who smiled to your face and stabbed you in the back are now being exposed. Those who used your kindness, your trust, your loyalty as weapons against you, they are being made an example. And you are being lifted up, not just quietly, but publicly, because this is not just about you. It's about everyone who's ever been silenced, everyone who's ever been wrongly accused, everyone who's ever suffered with grace while others laughed. You're not just rising for yourself. You're rising as a testimony. This is the era of celebration, but it will come through contrast. Your joy will be highlighted by the downfall of those who tried to shame you. It will be seen not in isolation, but against the backdrop of those who once mocked your pain. They thought you were fragile. They underestimated how strong your soul had become. They measured your worth with material things, with status, with followers, with the opinions of the blind. But heaven measured your heart. And that is why your reward is coming now, loudly, with fireworks in the spirit, with confirmations, with alignments, with open doors that no man can shut. And as those doors open, others will close, on the faces and voices that were never meant to follow you into your next season. You don't need to argue with them. Don't explain yourself. The celebration that's coming for you is louder than any rumor, any gossip, any lie ever told about you. You don't need to correct the record. Your elevation will do that for you. Your glow will correct the narrative. Your win will silence the mockery, and you won't have to lift a finger. You are not stepping into celebration with bitterness. You're stepping in with sacredness. Because you now know what it's like to be broken in secret. And now you will know what it's like to be blessed in public. And listen closely. The people who once threw your name into circles of destruction will now watch as your name is spoken in rooms of promotion. The ones who said you'll never make it will watch you walk into a destiny they cannot even comprehend. You've been through the storm. You've been tested. But now you're being announced, not by man but by divine decree. The enemies didn't see it coming. But you felt it. You sensed something breaking in the spirit. You felt the shift, the clearing, the sudden weight lifting from your path. That's not your imagination. That's confirmation. Something ancient is realigning on your behalf. And so, the next time you hear the whisper of your past, smile gently. Because it has no power anymore. You've been elevated past their reach. Their access is revoked. Their plans are interrupted. You're not hiding anymore. You're being revealed. And your revelation is tied to celebration. Not just a party, not just a win, a transformation. Your name, your story, your presence. All of it is being recoded in the spiritual realm. And your enemies, they are being removed. One by one, some slowly, some suddenly, but all with divine precision. Not a single move is wasted. Every step forward is ordained. Now breathe, stand tall, and prepare your spirit. Because what's coming is not just poetic justice, it's prophetic fulfillment. The very thing they feared, your rise, is now happening, and nothing can stop it. There is a particular silence that comes before divine reversal. It's not the silence of defeat, it's the silence of strategic pause. Heaven was never ignoring you, it was watching. Timing matters in the spirit, and your enemies, oh, they mistook your silence as surrender. They thought your stillness meant you had nothing left. But what they didn't know is that still waters run deep, that in the silence, God was building thunder, that in your quietness, you were gathering divine fire, and now, the appointed time has arrived. The roar is ready. The shift is set. Their mockery triggered your miracle. Their attacks activated your ascension. You were chosen for this moment, not because you were loud, not because you fought back the way they did, but because you were disciplined. Disciplined enough to stay aligned when chaos surrounded you. Disciplined enough to pray instead of curse. Disciplined enough to believe when nothing made sense. And that level of self-control, that kind of spiritual maturity, it's a magnet for supernatural favor. The heavens have kept record, not just of what they did, but how you responded. That's why your elevation is not random. It's a reward. Your name has been cleared in rooms you've never entered. Your reputation is being restored in realms you've never seen. What they said about you is collapsing. What they plotted for you is backfiring. What they thought would be your ruin is now the root of your reward. And isn't it strange how the same people who once ignored your pain are now suddenly talking about your name? They feel the shift. Even if they don't understand it, they sense the loss of control. Because spiritual tables are being flipped, and those who are seated at your expense are being removed. There is no seat for dishonor in this next chapter. There is no room for envy, deceit, or manipulation. The divine is not just lifting you up, it is detoxing your surroundings. And with every detox comes revelation. You'll begin to see who truly stood with you and who stood silently against you. Some people didn't say a word, but their absence in your battle was loud. Some smiled, but their energy betrayed them. And now they're watching, quiet, nervous, because they know the season has turned. The celebration that is coming to you is not just a party, it's a statement. It's heaven placing a crown on the one they tried to shame. It's not just abundance, it's announcement. A spiritual megaphone declaring, "This one was always mine." And the glory you're about to walk into will make it impossible for your enemies to deny the hand of God on your life. There will be no excuses left, no more lies to hide behind. When God elevates you, it's not subtle, it's undeniable. And the same way they paraded your downfall, your comeback will be witnessed with 10 times the force. They thought their words could limit you, but you've been rewired for resilience. You've cried the kind of tears that rewire the soul. You've had to walk away from people you loved because they secretly celebrated your suffering. You've had to sit in rooms with people who threw you under spiritual buses just to protect their image. But none of that stopped your calling. It sharpened it, and now the cutting they did will become the very proof of how unstoppable your destiny truly is. Every time they slandered you, they fertilized your future. Every attempt to discredit you gave heaven another reason to highlight you. Every silent betrayal is now being reversed with loud celebration. This is the power of divine justice. It doesn't just remove your enemies, it turns their curses into confirmation. It transforms their laughter into lessons. And those lessons, they're now public. The same ones who once pretended you were beneath them now can't stop watching your glow. Because your light has become undeniable, your journey has become too loud to ignore. There is a wave of divine intervention crashing into your life right now. You'll notice the sudden exits. Don't grieve them, they're divine disconnections. You'll notice things aligning quickly. Don't second-guess them, they're spiritual setups. The universe is responding to your energy shift. You are no longer the one waiting to be noticed. You are the one being placed at the center of divine orchestration. People will ask how it happened so fast. They didn't see your prayers, they didn't feel your loneliness, they didn't endure your wilderness, but they'll witness your harvest because the stage is set. The light is shifting, and your enemies, they're losing power in real time. Some will apologize, not because they're sorry, but because they're scared. They feel the shift and want to cling to your rising boat. Others will fall silent, the same mouths that spoke against you now stuck in disbelief. Don't wait for apologies, don't expect closure. What you're walking into is bigger than that. You don't need them to admit your value anymore, because God is making it evident, and that evidence is loud, unavoidable, public. Prepare yourself. The spotlight is not for vanity. It's for victory. It's for visibility. Because someone else needs to see what divine justice looks like. Someone else needs to believe again because they saw how you rose. You are not just celebrating for yourself, you're blazing a trail for every soul who's been lied on, abandoned, broken, and still chose to trust the process. And your process? It's paying off. This next season will be filled with surprises, the kind of blessings that interrupt your day, the kind of phone calls that change your life, the kind of alignments that feel like divine choreography. You won't have to knock on doors anymore. They're flying open. You won't have to chase support. It's coming to find you, and all of it will happen in full view. The ones who once stood with your enemies will now question their choices. The ones who helped hurt you will begin to feel the sting of consequence. And the pain you once carried, it's transforming into power. You are about to see what it means to be honored by the divine, and your enemies, they're about to see what it looks like when someone they underestimated is called to glory. There's a sacred beauty in being underestimated. When they believe you're done, when they think they've won, that's when the divine makes its boldest moves. Your enemies thought they silenced you. They thought they stripped you of influence, opportunity, favor. But what they didn't understand is that silence is not always loss. Sometimes it's setup. Sometimes God allows the enemy to believe they've succeeded just long enough for the revelation to be explosive. Just long enough for the spotlight to be blinding. Just long enough for the victory to be louder than the betrayal. And now the divine is about to step in with such force, even those who pretended not to notice your pain will have no choice but to witness your rise. Your enemies had their time. They had their moment to scheme, to mock, to gossip, to manipulate. But that clock has run out. And what's about to begin is a display of divine authority that cannot be negotiated. This is not karma. This is justice. This is not coincidence. This is God's intervention in motion. You're not rising because you fought for attention. You're rising because you aligned with something higher. And that alignment has broken chains, shifted timelines, and activated a celebration that cannot be stopped. There are people right now trembling in the background of your story, not because you threatened them, but because they realize who you truly are. The illusion is breaking. The masks they wore are dissolving under the heat of truth. They thought your humility was weakness. They thought your compassion was naivete. But now they're seeing the truth. You were never fragile. You were focused. You were never lost. You were being hidden for the right season, and that season is now. God is orchestrating your comeback in such a strategic way, your enemies won't even know how to respond. The opportunities you're about to receive, they can't block them. The people who are about to support you, they can't manipulate them. The stage is being prepared for you. They can't discredit them. Everything they once used to control your narrative is now being stripped from their hands. Their words are losing weight. Their tactics are losing traction. Their energy is collapsing under its own falsehood. And you are glowing, not just externally, but spiritually. Your presence is becoming undeniable. People are sensing your shift even if they can't explain it. They feel the frequency change when you enter a room. They feel the atmosphere tighten when your name is mentioned. Because what's attached to you now is not just favor, it's fire. It's the fire of having been through the worst and still choosing light. It's the fire of being betrayed but never bitter. It's the fire of rising without revenge. Every trap they set for you, it's now triggering against them. Every lie they told, it's now echoing back in their own circles. You don't even need to defend yourself. God is making you undeniable, and while they scramble to regain the power they lost, you're stepping into a version of yourself they never expected. Stronger, clearer, wiser, radiant, untouchable. Your enemies are experiencing the unraveling now. Their networks of lies are fraying. Their alliances are falling apart. Their confidence is turning to paranoia. Because the universe has declared a shift. The balance is being corrected. And there's no stopping a correction commanded by heaven. They can run, but they cannot hide from what they planted. And they cannot escape the harvest of what they sowed. You, on the other hand, are stepping into overflow. Not just in wealth, not just in recognition, but in peace, in alignment, in joy. You're about to laugh in ways you haven't in years. You're about to rest in ways you forgot were possible. Because this isn't just a public humiliation of your enemies, it's a public restoration of your soul. And listen, this celebration is not a petty one. This isn't about getting even. This is about getting elevated. You're not rising to show them who you are. You're rising because heaven already knows who you are. You're rising because it's time. You're rising because your purpose is louder than their opinions. Your calling is bigger than their control, and your destiny has always been beyond their comprehension. People will try to rewrite their past with you. They'll try to remind you of the good times. They'll try to re-enter your circle with compliments, with fake support, with strategic humility. But discernment is your shield now. You are no longer available for manipulation. You are no longer accessible to those who mocked your struggle. You've learned. You've evolved. And your glow-up is not for everyone. Some people will only get to watch from a distance. That's their consequence. Not because you're bitter, but because God has made it so. And the most powerful part, you won't even need to address them. You won't need to block them. Your presence will do it. Your glow will convict. Your peace will irritate. Your celebration will trigger. Because what's happening in your life cannot be duplicated. It can't be faked. It can't be copied. What's coming to you is customized, designed by the divine, built specifically for the chosen one you are. This isn't the end of the story. This is the beginning of a divine display. A heavenly performance so loud, so undeniable, that even your enemies will have to confess. You were always favored. You were always protected. You were always destined. Keep walking forward. Don't look back. Don't explain your joy. Don't apologize for your glow. The celebration is only getting started. The tables have turned. And your enemies, they're choking on their own pride. Let them. There's a shift happening that no one can deny. A divine current moving through your life, rearranging every piece that once felt broken. What once looked like chaos is revealing itself to have been holy construction all along. The pain, the rejection, the silence, it was all building toward this moment. You're not just being seen. You're being revealed. Your presence, once overlooked, is now too powerful to ignore. Your light, once dimmed by betrayal, is now a flame no enemy can extinguish. Those who tried to bury your name now whisper it in awe. The ones who laughed when you stumbled now fall silent as you soar. Every effort to humiliate you is unraveling, every lie is crumbling. Every secret weapon formed in darkness is melting under the weight of truth. They tried to turn your life into a warning, but now your life is becoming a revelation. A display of what happens when you stay aligned, stay faithful, stay grounded while everything else tried to shake you loose. Your enemies are confused. They're watching doors open that they swore were locked. They see blessings pouring in that they tried to block, and they realize the very force they mocked is the one now exalting you. You were never alone. Heaven was always involved. Every time they laughed behind closed doors, the angels were documenting. Every time they plotted, the heavens were preparing. And now, preparation meets presentation. The story flips in public. No more whispers, no more denial, no more hiding. This is your announcement. And the celebration? It's just getting started. It's not a moment, it's a movement. The very stage they tried to pull out from beneath you is now holding your crown. What was meant to shame you has become the spotlight for your purpose. Their downfall is not your concern, your glow is. Your alignment is, your joy is. Because you've spent enough time trying to make sense of their cruelty. Now it's time to make room for divine compensation. You're walking in rooms you didn't beg to enter. You're receiving calls you didn't chase. You're experiencing peace they tried to strip from you. And still, you're rising with grace. No revenge in your hands, just clarity. No bitterness in your voice, just authority. Your existence is the proof. Your breath is the breakthrough. Every step you take now is sacred. You don't owe anyone explanations. You don't owe your past another word. The energy has changed. The story has shifted. And the narrative is now written in divine ink. So walk, not with fear, but with fire. Not with apology, but with authority. The celebration that's rising around you is not man-made, it's heaven-ordained, and they're going to see it. They're going to watch every moment unfold, not just your elevation, but their unraveling. Not because you planned it, but because justice is divine. And when heaven says enough, it's enough. You didn't just survive. You transformed, you evolved, you became. And now the universe is standing still to witness what was never supposed to be silenced. You. They crossed a sacred line, trying to destroy what they didn't understand. But what they couldn't kill has become unstoppable. What they tried to break has become unshakable. What they mocked is now magnificent. Let them stare. Let them wonder how you're still glowing. Let them wrestle with their choices in the silence they created. Because while they whisper, heaven is declaring, "This one is mine." And the celebration will be so loud, so undeniable, that even your enemies will be forced to admit, God was always with you. I saw what they did to you when no one else was looking. I watched them smile to your face while they plotted behind your back. They thought they could mock what I have anointed. They believed their words would destroy what I've chosen. They underestimated who you are, and more importantly, whose you are. They touched what was sacred. They crossed a line I told them not to cross. They tried to shame you in front of others. Now I will expose them in front of many. The same people who laughed at you will now watch me honor you. I was silent, but I was never absent. I let them think they were winning. I allowed their schemes to play out, not because I was blind, but because I was preparing a table for you that they could never sit at. They will be humbled publicly, not by your hands, but by mine. They will see your name rise where they tried to bury it. They will see doors open for you that they swore they had closed forever. They will hear your name spoken in places they tried to erase it from. Do not seek revenge. Do not return their darkness. I am your justice. I am your defense. I am your vindicator. I will make their silence loud. I will make their regret unbearable. They will watch what they thought they stopped rise in glory. They will witness the power of my protection over your life. I did not forget your tears. I did not overlook your faithfulness. I saw you hold your tongue when you could have cursed them. I saw you stay pure when they tried to provoke you, and now I will reward you, in front of them, loudly, unapologetically. Your time of humiliation is over. Your time of celebration has come. I will elevate you in ways that require no explanation. I will surround you with favor that they cannot touch. I will pour blessings that overflow in front of every enemy that doubted you. Let them watch. Let them feel what it means to touch what I have blessed. Let them wrestle with the weight of their choices. You don't have to respond. I am responding for you. Stand still. Keep your hands clean. Keep your heart pure. Because what I am about to do in your life will silence every voice that rose against you. They tried to cancel you. They will now witness how I crown you. Chosen one, let be free your soul.